Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca and welcome back to my sewing room. Today's video is just going to be a super short little announcement that probably a lot of you already know at least half of this announcement because it's two announcements. And the first part is terrible. And there's really no way to say that any other way. I know that not all of you look at my community tab, not all of you follow me over on Instagram, so it's possible that you may not have heard this news. But unfortunately, just about 2 weeks ago from when I'm filming this, and a little over 2 weeks ago from when this video will be coming out, Dora, my absolutely amazing, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry, but my absolutely wonderful baby was actually killed by a coyote. Yeah, I put that in my community tab and in my Instagram and stuff. So again, a lot of you have probably already heard that. I do have more to share in this video though too about other things, so don't turn it off right away. But yeah, I just felt that you guys all should know because I know she's been a really big and important part of this channel, and you all love her, probably at least a little bit of percentage of how much I love her as well, or loved her. So yeah, the last couple of weeks have been really hard, and honestly, what really helped was that it was also tech week for my show the week that this happened. And that served as a really great distraction from everything with Dora, because it meant that I wasn't home for like half the day. Lion is doing well. I mean, as well as a dog with cancer can be doing. But he, like attitude wise, this did not seem to faze him. So that's really good. And yeah, it was just, especially that first week was really hard. At this point now, I've actually made it through 2 or 3 days without crying. Obviously today is not one of them, but yeah, she was my baby, my just wonderful little girl, and this was literally 1 week shy of her 6th gotcha day. And yes, I know that it is obviously safer for cats to be fully indoor and not indoor-outdoor. Unfortunately, she learned about the outdoors when she was a kitten because of the other cat that had already been living in my house from my roommate. And there was no keeping her inside. Even if I had tried to, she would have destroyed everything and tried to get out at every moment's notice. Now that said, this is not a coyote area. Like, I live in almost like an urban suburb away from wilderness. This is not a coyote area. This is not something I ever would have expected. I had a terrible fear of, you know, coming home from rehearsal one night and finding that she'd been hit by a car. That was always a fear. And after she got attacked by another cat earlier this year, twice, I put a tracker on her so I would always know where she was, and I would know like what's going on, because there are other cats in the neighborhood that do also roam as well. But yeah, coyote just never crossed my mind because this is not a coyote area. I don't know what one was doing here, and it hung around for at least a week after it killed her as well. I really hope it's gone at this point, but yeah, it's just not something that should have happened, and obviously it's absolutely devastating. I will obviously never be able to replace Dora. She was basically the perfect cat. Lion is going to be making a lot of noise here because he's actually licking me at this moment. But yeah, she was basically perfect, and there was almost nothing that I would have changed about her other than being able to keep her fully indoors, which also would have solved the like bringing in dead birds or live mice problem. Other than that, she was like perfection to me. But obviously that also has meant that she has left an enormous hole in my heart. Just this huge cat-sized hole of like me going to bed at night and there not being a cat next to me, or me coming home from rehearsal or from anywhere and not seeing a cat either in my front yard or like on the back of the couch next to the door when I open the door. Just a huge cat-sized hole that I never would have thought, because I never grew up with cats. Dora was my first cat. I mean, I had had roommates with cats before that, but she was my first cat. And because of Lion's health, I was planning to rely on Dora to be my companion as Lion's health does fade, because although he is on chemo, I don't know how well he's doing, and it's such a slow process to be able to check stuff like that too. So I knew that I had to adopt another cat. And I kind of figured that I would be looking even as soon as about a week after her death. Like once the show was open, I kind of figured that I would start looking for another cat because I just needed to fill that hole. And that is where this little girl comes in. So I did not anticipate getting this little girl. This is Maisie. I did not anticipate getting her when I did, but there was a Petco that had rescue cats right across the street from me the other day, and I decided to just go look. I know that's always like a dangerous thing to do, but I went in there and I looked, and this little girl, even through the plexiglass, she just wanted love and attention. She was purring right away when I started petting her. Right away, as soon as I like stuck my fingers through the holes in her little plexiglass cubby at Petco, she wanted pets and love. And I know she looks very squirmy right here, but that's because I've decided to do this apparently during play mode and not downtime mode. She is 3 months old, so she is still very much a kitten and she wants to play all of the time, other than when she has decided she just wants cuddles, which is fantastic. And I'm hoping that she at least has some of the temperament that Dora has had for most of her life. I mean, obviously she had a kitten phase as well, because I did adopt Dora when she was a kitten. But Lion doesn't seem to mind her very much, except for when she plays a little too close to him, which is exactly how he acted with Dora her entire life as well. And I've got a fishing toy right here, so that's why I'm looking down now, because she wants to play with her sushi fishing toy. And yeah, she has just been a wonderful distraction and a wonderful little companion so far. Just had her for a little bit now, and I am so glad that she is at least filling a little bit of that Dora hole. Again, sometimes when I go to sleep, I look over at Dora's pillow because I had a pillow right next to my pillow for Dora. And, you know, very sad that there's no Dora on it. Maisie hasn't yet really learned to like sleep next to me yet, but hopefully that's something that we can work on. And yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know, if you hadn't seen the news about Dora, that is what happened, and so you won't be seeing her in future videos, obviously. It's honestly still pretty difficult for me to look at pictures of Dora a lot, so if I, you know, miss any days of posting to Instagram, that is why, because sometimes it's just really hard to scroll through my camera roll and find like pictures of costumes to post, because there's pictures of Dora everywhere. But now there are also pictures of Maisie on there too, so I will be sharing pictures of Maisie like on my Instagram stories, along with Lion, of course, just like I did with Dora and Lion. And you will be seeing Maisie in videos. She's already learning to be a good sewing companion, just sitting on my chair here while I'm at the cutting table, which is something that Dora did all the time. So yeah, Maisie is my new cat companion. Maisie, by the way, is going to be fully indoor. She had been rescued, like found and brought into the Humane Society. So obviously she probably began her life as an outdoor cat, but she is no longer going to get to be outdoors. She has been wanting to try and escape into the garage, so I've been very careful with that, and I am going to train her to hopefully walk on a leash. That is my goal. We have already done a couple of backpack walks. I have a cat backpack that I can put her in, and she has been good. We've done 2 walks so far with Lion, you know, on his leash, and Maisie in her backpack with her little harness on, like attached into her backpack, and she's been very good on those walks. So that might be an option too, to be able to like let her see the outdoors and let her get a little bit of that fresh air, but she is not going to be allowed outdoors at all. I don't know if this coyote is still around, and obviously now I know that coyotes come through this neighborhood sometimes. And so yeah, she is going to be fully indoor, which means for the first time I also have a litter box. So if you guys have any like good advice on litter boxes, because I feel like she's just getting litter all over my bathroom floor, I would love to hear your advice if you know of any tips of like types of litter to use, or I don't know, types of litter boxes to use, anything like that, because that is definitely the biggest adjustment for me, I feel like, with her, is getting used to having a litter box in my house. So yeah, that is Maisie right there, my new little girl. And she is also a Torby, which is what Dora was, though I do feel like Maisie has very different coloring to Dora. But yeah, I just wanted to introduce her to you guys. Again, let you know what's going on in case you hadn't seen my posts. And yeah, that's really it for this video. Between Dora and Tech Week, I obviously was not doing any sewing, but I am back to sewing now. So you will be getting a sewing video next week. It's like literally right next to me over here. And it's back to historical costuming too, which I know a lot of you are going to appreciate. It's going to be a chemise à la reine, which I had told you about when I told you my upcoming plans, but yeah. So that is going to be it for me for today. I know that you didn't enjoy this video. Hopefully you enjoyed meeting Maisie, but I know the rest of the video was really hard. Sorry for crying all the way through this video as well. If you can do a thumbs up on this video, like click the thumbs up icon, great. If you don't, that's totally fine. I'm really doing this video just to update you what was going on, and also to please the algorithm, because the algorithm would probably get upset if I did not post a video at all this week. And if you are watching this video, let's be honest, you are probably already subscribed. But if you're not, please go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can see sewing content, which is normally obviously what I put out. Also, make sure that you go follow me over on Instagram at Lady Rebecca Fashions. Again, I will be posting pictures of both Maisie and of course of Lion to my stories over there. And also a big thank you to my patrons. Some of my patrons got a little sneak peek of Maisie a few days early because those of my patrons who are at the Romantic, Victorian, and Edwardian level tiers get to join my live chats every month. So they got to meet Maisie a few days ago before you are seeing this. And a special thank you to my patrons at the Edwardian level, Jean, Dan, and Kim. So that's going to be it. Thank you all very, very much. I will see you next week in another sewing video. Happy sewing!